Hi everybody, my name is Michael Levan. Thank you so much for joining me today. And what we're going to be doing is in under 5 minutes to set up KubeTruth, which is the Kubernetes integrator for CloudTruth. And what it's going to do is allow you to have a Kubernetes manifest, whether it's a deployment manifest, a service manifest, a config map manifest, and you're going to be able to pull all of your parameters and all of your secrets from KubeTruth. That way you have a centralized location that you can store all of your parameters, all of your secrets in a safe and secure location. So with that, let's go ahead and jump right into the demo. To get started, you will need at least 2 prerequisites. Well, actually 3. Number 1, you're going to need kubectl installed on your local machine so you can run kubectl commands. You're going to need a Kubernetes cluster. Now this cluster could be literally anywhere. It could be Minikube running locally. It could be in Azure. It could be in AWS, really whatever you want. And then the third thing is you're going to need some familiarity with Helm charts. So we will be using the KubeTruth Helm chart to set all of this up. Now you don't have to go in depth and really change anything in the Helm chart, but you should have a basic understanding of what Helm charts are. So with that, let's take a look at our KubeTruth instance. Let me go ahead and maximize this a little bit. And as you can see, I have a project here called Kubernetes Secrets. Now, if you look through here, there isn't really anything from a secrets or passwords or API key standpoint. Really, it's just the app name, which is Nginx, the image name that we're going to be using, the Nginx version, the port that we want to open, and then how many replicas we want running. But regardless of if these are secrets or if these are parameters, this is going to work the same exact way, and how we essentially pull in the secrets or the parameters is going to work the exact same way. One thing that we will need is if we go down to API access, we're going to go ahead and we're going to generate a new token here. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call this API key demo. Then I'll go ahead and I'll give it owner access, and then I'll click generate token. And once this token's generated, either leave it up on your screen or copy it and put it somewhere in a secure location. Don't just put it anywhere, because we're going to need it in a little bit when we're setting up our connection from KubeTruth to CloudTruth. So first things, we're going to want our Kubernetes manifest. Now our manifest is of kind deployment, so we're going to be using a Kubernetes manifest to do a deployment. And this is going to be for our Nginx application. Now, of course, this is a very basic demo application, but this is kind of just to get you started here. So as you can see, we have our parameters here, or our environment variables. We have our app name, our replicas, all of that. And this is exactly what was in the parameters inside of our CloudTruth project. So let's go ahead and open up the terminal here. And the first command that we're going to run is we are going to be setting up CloudTruth to look at our Kubernetes secrets project. And we're going to set our template to this template right here. So the Deployment.Yaml. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do Deployment.Yaml. And now notice at the end here, it says deployment. This is telling CloudTruth, oh, okay, we're going to be doing a deployment for KubeTruth. If this was a service or a config map, we would define that here. Okay, and as we can see, the template has been updated. So what does that actually mean? Well, let's head over to CloudTruth really quick. Now I'm in my Kubernetes secrets project, and if I go to templates, notice here that I now have a template name for deployment. Now if I scroll down here, we can see that here's our template that we defined in VS Code. And now here is the template with all of the parameters added in. So for example, the app name, if we look here, if we look at the image name and Nginx version, we have that right here. So essentially what this is saying is CloudTruth now contains this deployment. It contains this Kubernetes manifest. That way we can use it later on, because remember, CloudTruth is our source of truth. So let's head over back to VS Code. And now what we'll do is we'll take a look at our operator configuration. So notice here how on line 5, we're specifying our resources. And this is essentially saying what resources we can utilize. So deployments, replica sets, pods, services. And if we scroll down here, notice how I have a project selector. Now this project selector is going to essentially be what we tell KubeTruth to look at in terms of the project. So we say, KubeTruth, look at this project to pull the Kubernetes Manifest, which is that deployment that we just looked at. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to uncomment this right here. Now notice how I'm pulling the project Kubernetes secrets, which is where our Kubernetes Manifest lives, along with our parameters. So now that's saved and we're ready to run our Helm configs. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add the CloudTruth Helm repo. Okay. Now, as you can see, I already have it, but if you don't, of course, it will be added. Next, we are going to specify our Helm install with the values from the ct deploy test-values.yaml and our API key. So let's go ahead and add in our API key here that we generated. And now we have our KubeTruth deployment name, and it's coming from CloudTruth/KubeTruth. Now notice here that we are doing a Helm install, but we are not specifying a namespace. If you don't specify the namespace, it will go to the default namespace. However, if you want to specify a namespace, you absolutely can. So let's go ahead and run this. Okay, so we're all good here. We can see that it was deployed to the default namespace. So now let's run kubectl logs for our KubeTruth deployment. Now what I want to show here is that it actually goes through all of the projects inside of CloudTruth. And notice here how it's processing the Kubernetes secrets project. The reason why it's doing that is because of our project selector right here. But also notice how, for example, Terraform S3 bucket create, that project was skipped. Why? Because it's not specified in our project selector. So if we go ahead and we clear our screen here and we run kubectl get deployments, as we can see, our Nginx deployment is now created. And that's how you can get started with Kube and CloudTruth. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. And we'll see you again next time.